Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're starting a new segment in the YouTube channel life. That's what we're gonna say. We are starting, I guess, like a Horror Wednesdays style of thing. I need to come up with a name for it, but for now it's gonna be Horror Wednesdays. Basically, today's horror video is going to be about a creepypasta. It is commonly known as, what's the fucking name of it? We found a cave during our annual hiking trip. Everybody, get ready. This is going to be way more than 5 minutes because I stutter, I have dyslexia, and I'm going to go on a lot of tangents about little things I read in here. So, get ready for it because we're going in fucking balls deep right now to We Found a Cave during our annual hiking trip. I hope that you all enjoy it. Yeah, let's get into it. Summer for me and my friend Jake usually only meant one thing: endless hiking trips in the mountainous terrain around our city. We're gonna run with mountainous. While traveling far away was a luxury we couldn't afford. We'd frequently spent the week. Oh my god, Oh my god, I'm reading the wrong line right now. We'd frequently spend the weekend camping out. This is gonna be a long one, guys. There were plenty of new places to discover in our vicinity: new lakes, forests, and even caves. Jake and I had randomly met during one of our many solo hikes. I found him sitting by the lake with a cup of lukewarm coffee. He offered me some and we got to talking. Speaking of caves, I've gone on a hike where there's caves and shit, and it's fucking creepy. Um, that was the start of our decade-long friendship. I kind of briefly skimmed over this, so again, I seen this. I don't know what this means. If any creepypasta frequenters know what this means, let me know. This summer, due to the quarantine and all, nothing sounded better than some extra social distancing. We both had a week off work and decided to travel along one of our favorite treks through the mountains. We equipped ourselves with ample amounts of supplies, an emergency phone, and suitable clothes. Then we set out on our new adventure. The trip brought us through an amazingly green valley. After a rainy spring, both plant and animal life thrived around us. We traversed the endless fields? I read that as floods, I'm so sorry, guys. Fields near an abandoned farm, only contrasted by forest and mountains in the distance. Personally, the mountain itself was my favorite part of the journey. I enjoyed the effort required to walk up, feeling as if my body needed to work. Once we required the first plateau, required? I am fucking not be able to read right now. Once we reached the first plateau, we got a brilliant view of of the valley beneath. The sun was just about to set, and we decided to make camp for the night. We made a simple bonfire and sat down with a few cups of whiskey while we told our usual round of ghost stories. Since alcohol runs straight to my bladder, it wasn't long before I needed to take a leak. I wandered a short distance away from camp and let loose. There in the cliff wall, I noticed a cave entrance. It wasn't particularly big, but large enough for any adult to crouch down and get inside. We'd taken that very same path twice before, but neither of us had ever seen it. I excitedly ran back to tell Jake about my discovery. I'm tired. I've been up all night. Sorry, guys. About my discovery. Even on our inebriated, in a inebriated state, even in our intoxicated state, I'm gonna run with that. We knew better than to go exploring in a cave at night after drinking. But once morning came around, we would be ready. We awoke early to the sun rising above the horizon, Jesus Christ. Even though we each had a few glasses of whiskey, we managed to elude the course of a hangover. With little hesitation, we packed the necessary equipment for spelunking. We didn't have much rope to speak of, so climbing down or up rocky walls was out of the question. But as long as the cave could be traversed solely on foot, we'd be fine. Jake went first, holding onto the stronger flashlight, while I followed behind to mark our path at each intersection. Once we'd gotten past the first narrow section, we reached a chamber where we could fully stand up. It was a massive boneyard, full of particularly eroded limestone. I took a closer look and found pale insects crawling around. You guys fucking hear that? That's my cat. Crawling around the inside of the tiny maze. Hey Jake, check this out, I yelled, my voice echoing through the cave. What the hell? We explored many caves together but had never seen anything like it. Better leave them alone. Don't know if they're poisonous or whatever. Already in the first chamber, we made an interesting discovery. The cave was looking good. We made our way through the boneyard, only to be met by a narrow network of caves we had to crawl through. I don't know what a boneyard is. I'm presuming it's maybe bones in the cave. I don't know. I guess I'm going to put a description up right now, but I don't know what a boneyard is, so if y'all do, I applaud you for carrying along with the story. Okay. Yawn break, you know the drill. I'll check if I can get through to the other side, Jake said. A few of them were just dead ends, while others were simply too narrow. After trying about 4 of the passages, we finally found one that led to another chamber. I marked our path and we crawled further in. The room we entered was the biggest I'd ever seen. It came with a massive hole that stretched 20 feet down into a shallow underground river. We only had a narrow path to follow to the other side. These cave descriptions terrify me. I have claustrophobia, so the idea of being stuck in a cave, I can do small spaces if it's above ground or if I know I can get out. If I'm going into something and I don't know if I can get out, I'm going to fucking not like it and I'm going to panic. I need to know I can get out and I need to, know that somebody can get me out. Those are my two kind of options there. And that relies on a lot of trust with that person. Watch your step. Let's try not to slide off the cliff, I said. Of course. Without warning, Jake pretending to lose his grip, I instinctively reached out to grab him, only to be met with laughter. Real funny, keep going. Is she breaking stuff out there? Real funny, keep going. We spent a couple of hours getting familiarized with the caves, making sure we could find our way back out. I'd marked it perfectly. Oh my god. I'd marked it pretty accurately, and we theoretically had enough batteries to keep the flashlights going for 3 days straight. Still, we had a hike to continue, and when we realized the cave just kept getting deeper into the mountain, we had to turn around. Just then, something echoed through the cave. It sounded like a wet growl coming from further ahead. That's fucking terrifying. What's a wet growl? I don't know what a wet growl is. Shivers were sent down my spine, and suddenly I realized how cold it had gotten. Yeah, we're definitely turning around, Jake said. He was joking, but through his smile, I could tell he was nervous. Then we heard a similar sound coming from behind us. All right, what the hell is that sound? Jake asked. I don't know, but let's just get out of here. We fall. Oh my god, if I'm stuck in a cave, right? If one side is darkness, right? I have my lights barely illuminating the area around me. Then the other side is darkness, and you hear this noise coming from the fucking 20-foot drop into a river. I don't remember where we're at, in the cave, but I'm pretty sure it's where we're at. And then you also hear it behind you. This is a reference to the yawn break. Jesus Christ, y'all are seeing me yawn more than my fucking parents. This is a reference to Red Dead Redemption. If you guys have ever played Red Dead Redemption 2, you would know there's this mission where you have to take the character Winton Holmes into a cave to retrieve a loan that Leopold Strauss gave out to him. As the main character Arthur Morgan tresses the cave, he realizes that there is animal droppings, animal carcasses, and all kinds of stuff, realizing that they are hunting this animal in its den. They split ways in hopes, find said animal, which earlier on in the mission you find out it's a white panther, and you delve down into the cave and you hear Winton get mauled by this white panther, and then you have to walk over there, traversing a cave, which you realize looking around there's so many exits and entrances that kind of lead around to its own little maneuver. Y'all see my cat right now? It's a bag of Doritos. Homegirl. Say hi to the camera, Khaleesi. What the hell are you doing? Why are you trying to get into my bag of Doritos? Go eat. Alright. Where was I? Alright, so... And then you go discover his body. It's been mauled by a white panther, and then you have to kill the white panther. And you retrieve the pelt and take it down to the local town. We followed the path quickly, knowing exactly where to go. Even then, the narrow tunnels we had to crawl through drastically slowed us down. In the distance, we heard the broken growls and roars getting closer. "Hurry up!" I told Jake as panic started to set in. "Wait, there's something on the other," he managed to say before suddenly started screaming. I followed him as quickly as I could. We made it back to the room with the large hole, but Jake was nowhere in sight. "Jake!" No response. I laid down and peeled over the cliff edge. Jake wasn't there, but I got a glimpse of one of the creatures that had growled. It was a pale, hairless thing that looked like a large, slender dog. It had no eyes, but its mouth extended abnormally far back towards its throat. Its whole face was rather thin, perfectly fitted to dig small creatures out of the cave walls. I called out for my friend once again, but he was simply gone. If the creatures had pulled him down there was a good chance he died in the fall. Unfortunately, that theory was quickly put to rest as I heard screaming from the head of the river. From the head of the river, he had been taken down, but that hadn't killed him. I saw streaks of blood mixed with the clear waters. Is she trying to go after my fucking? She's under my bed. She's going after that bag of chips. It's empty. Okay, whatever. Um, he had been taken. No. We are here. I had pulled out a little bit of rope we had, but there was no way I can get down to help him. Then more of the dog-like creatures approached. I couldn't stay behind any longer. Instead, I decided to flee the cave, grab the phone, and call for help. It took me 20 minutes just to get out, but luckily none of the creatures took chase. Once out, I called for rescue, which would arrive by helicopter. The 30 minutes it took for them to arrive were the longest in my entire life. I wanted to go back and help Jake, but I knew that they needed me there to guide them. Get back in there. For one, you're hiking. You're in a forest environment. You're making me stop my complaints. Alright. You're in a forest environment, okay? If you've been doing an annual hike with your buddy, you should know after, one of those annual hikes, you should be carrying a firearm or some kind of deterrent on you. And if you're going into a cave, why don't you have something to, not even for a weapon, like a knife. You don't need a gun on you exploring a cave, but you need a knife. What if you need to cut rope? What if you need to cut really anything? What if you get an injury and you have you don't have a tourniquet for your injury, so you need to cut a belt or something? I don't know. There's many reasons why you could use a knife or a pocket knife or something. Like, why would you not have some kind of weapon that you can help fucking fight these weird, skinless, slender demon hell dogs off with to go save your friend? I don't know. If it was me, I'd have a knife on me already to go help my friend. I don't know. As soon as they arrived, I brought them to the first chamber. To all of our surprises, the cave just ended there. Oh, the narrow tunnel we crawled through earlier had just simply vanished. There were a few drops of blood from where I crawled through, but that was about it. Of course, I showed them proof that Jake had been with me, but they didn't exactly help us find him. It's been a month since he vanished. I've since tried to find the cave again, but even the main entrance has been erased from existence. Whatever happened inside that cave will remain a mystery until the end of time. Holy shit. That is a fucking story. I mean, it definitely wasn't the best, but, for a little short story, that was a really good story, to be honest. I definitely do recommend checking this dude out. If that was a really good story, I really wonder what other stories is going on. Yeah, that was fucking amazing. Let's sum it up. It starts off with Jake and the friend going out on a hike, and then it turns into them seeing a cave whenever the dude fucking goes out to go take a piss. And from there, it just kind of alludes into an amazing exploration of this large cave. It's, as you enter, kind of like a weird, you enter in, it's all nice, and you're happy to explore. The darker you get in, the darker your mind gets, and the darker stuff around you gets, but not light, It gets creepier. On your way out, you're panicking, as a human does on the way into something. They don't panic as much as on their way out, because usually on their way out, there's a reason why they're on their way out. Most people will just kind of explore, and then whenever they get to a point where like, I think we should head back, that's when they head back. And that's what happened in the story. And that's what makes it even creepier. It's not a normal horror instance where they see something, then they run. They decide it's time to go, and then they see something. On their way out, they kind of blocks them in a weird way, which I really liked that. That's a really good, weird kind of thing that I like in horror stuff that's like not normal. It's not, you don't expect it. A lot of this I did not expect, to be honest. I was expecting some kind of weird, another type of creature, not like a dog, and I was expecting him to go down and explore the cave to go find his friend and see more shit. But that did not end up happening. But although there's lackluster and more evidence towards Jake, it kind of shows us this is all from his perspective. So to be honest, it really explains it best because, in my opinion, I would have thrown some theories in. Like at the end here, I have some theories of my own on what happened to Jake, and he just goes on a big list, making up some stuff that he could use as a really good theory. Like there's a couple that I can think of right off my head, and that is that Jake went to go see what the disturbance was, so he left, and then the fucking hellhounds came and got him and took him down into the cave. I don't know, but good story overall. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'm going to make another one of these for sure, probably even sooner than Wednesday. I just might make it a couple creepypastas in a row and maybe just talk about some stuff because this is really fun content to make. So, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you didn't, it's your fucking problem. I hope you can suck it up like a big old girl and get used to it. Okay? Thank you all for watching. Peace out.